Well, hello there, LATD Nation. Welcome back to the channel. Of course, it's your boy Jay.
And this is RG from the 843,
Yes,
Rodney.
yes, sir. We've got another movie review.
Long awaited movie review. It's been, a total of 3 weeks since we've been in here?
Yeah,
Yay. Shit happens.
yeah. I mean, busyness, cruise for me.
Yes, sir.
But we back on our grind, back on our bullshit. Let's get to it. You feel me? So today we're gonna be looking at the details of Highest to Lowest, directed by the legendary Spike Lee.
Yes, sir. Spike Lee needs no introduction, of course. He is really one of the most prominent and influential directors of his generation, black or otherwise. Known for such classics as, of course, Malcolm X.
Right? Do the Right Thing.
Yep.
School Days, Jungle Fever. What's another one? The other one with Denzel Washington. That was not Malcolm X.
I know what you're talking about, but I actually been meaning to watch it, but I haven't taken time aside to actually do it yet. But I know what you're talking about.
Right. But all I know is Mo Better Blues. That's the name of it.
Yeah, there you go.
And he even has some modern classics like Black Klansman. We ain't gonna talk about Chirac. Yeah.
I mean, The Five Bloods was really good, and I rewatched that not too long ago. Actually, that was a good movie.
Yeah, I thought it was okay. Like, I mean, we're doing Throwback Thursdays now, so if y'all want to know about any of those movies, please leave a like and comment. But
We'll try to get to them before 3 weeks has passed.
right, exactly. Well, highest to lowest. What'd you think about it so far?
So, of course, not to give too much of the plot away, but basically, highest to lowest, Denzel, Spike Lee reunited for the first time in, I think, about 15 years or so.
Something like that, yeah.
Something around that. Because the last movie they did came out in 2006. So it's been a while. So this movie, not to give too much away, like I said, stars Denzel as sort of this music mogul, this sort of legendary talent scout who's kind of towards the end of his career and is kind of trying to buy back the company that he built up. But,
Right.
some things kind of happen. We're not going to give it away. I don't know if it's revealed in the trailers or not. I didn't watch the trailers.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you, but it's pretty much just another. It's a crime type thriller
Oh, yeah, for sure.
where it involves a kidnapping. We're not going to say who, but it's really like a more thriller movie that gives like a moral dilemma that the main character Denzel Washington, David King, has in this movie about whether or not to save this person or just kind of let it ride. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, starring a pretty good cast. I'm not gonna lie. Aside from Denzel, you got ASAP Rocky,
Yep. Jeffrey Wright.
Jeffrey Wright
And that's really
Ice
to be honest.
Spice. For 5 seconds, which I mean, I'm sure to most people's delight, she's not in the movie that much.
Right, yeah,
She literally got to be one of the most hated rappers in the world right now. I don't know why, personally.
Rick Fox is in this movie too.
Oh yeah. There's a few celebrity cameos. Rosie Perez, who also is a Spike Lee alum, she got her start way back in the day. I think one of her first movies, if not her debut movie, was with Spike.
Oh, word. Okay.
Anthony Ramos was in it.
Wendell Pierce, who played Bunk from The Wire, for all my Wire fans out there. We're gonna talk about it one day. I'm gonna get this man to watch it.
You've been saying that since that poster been up on that wall. Probably before that, to be honest.
No, yeah, way before that. like a year before we even started this thing. You know what I'm saying?
Facts, exactly.
But yeah, and plenty more people. Michael Potts, so on and so forth. But really,
The All-State Danger guy or the Mayhem guy, he in there.
Yep. Dean Winters. Yep. And this is a pretty good cast overall for me. I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. But the thing that stood out to me the most was the cinematography.
Oh yeah.
Mainly because of a lot of the wide shots of New York, and especially when one of the detectives states all of the streets and where they're going to be tracking. Oh well, I can't really give that away.
Yeah.
But he mentions all of the street names and 79th Street, Brooklyn, so on and so forth. And it's you can tell this is a big love letter to New York as a whole.
Of course, which I mean, it makes sense because pretty much all of the principal actors that are in the movie are all from New York.
Right.
Denzel obviously is from New York. Spike Lee, of course, famously so, is from New York. A lot of his movies are set there. Rocky is from New York. Ice Spice is from New York. So it's almost like a bunch of different generations of New York coming together to celebrate their home.
Right.
And
Now
you can really see my fault.
No,
you
good.
can really see just the love that went into portraying New York in this way. Like you see a lot of New York culture. You see a lot of just the overall atmosphere that makes New York what it is.
Right, right. Like you see, especially when they feature a lot of the Bronx and then Yankee Stadium. There's even a part in the movie where they're like on the train or whatever, and then everybody just chanting like Boston sucks because Yankees are playing the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah.
And it's like it was just stuff like that, just the tone of New York and just a love letter to it. That's the biggest parts that I enjoyed of it.
New York is almost like the biggest character in this movie.
Oh yeah, definitely. And as far as performances are concerned, for me, Denzel and Jeffrey Wright do what they need to do. I enjoyed their performances.
It's Denzel being Denzel. It's what you expect.
Exactly.
And not in a bad way. Not in a bad way at all. Because Denzel
Right.
Washington, one of the greatest actors of all time. I don't think that that's really anything controversial to say. But
Right.
at the same time, it's what you expect from Denzel. That
Right.
charisma, that sort of cool confidence, that kind of sort of dry wit, that charm
Right.
that we've all really gone to be accustomed to when it comes to Denzel. It's all here.
Exactly. Like him, Jeffrey Wright, and really ASAP Rocky, they really do a good job. And ASAP Rocky is to me the most surprising.
Oh yeah.
Because I
Rocky
didn't-
been acting for a minute now.
Because even though he's not like, he's not going to be like Denzel and Jeffrey Wright. Like, he doesn't hold a candle to them. But especially when it comes to movies like these, like when he's in New York and his natural state, natural home and everything like that, he stands out a lot, of course, because this is like who he is. Like, he's pretty much being himself, but it's in a lot more of a charming way.
Facts, I agree, because like with his portrayal and like his sort of like performance, what I noticed with Rocky is that he was channeling a lot of himself, like you say. I think he's channeling a lot of his experiences and like how he grew up and
Right.
the kind of people he grew up around in the neighborhood and stuff. I think he probably kind of took a lot of like the specific scene we won't mention where he's kind of like detailing like his come up and like the people around him. I think that's probably reminiscent on how he first felt when he first got on and when he was first starting to make waves in the music industry, because Rocky's been around since 2011. And he was kind of one of the guys that came up in that new internet era. Like, he's
Right.
one of the first guys that kind of like made his mark in the internet. Like, kind of like his music kind of got picked up through that discovery. That was getting to a point to where handing out mixtapes wasn't necessarily the only avenue to do it independently. Because he put his mixtape Live Love ASAP Classic Project, released on Halloween 2011. It's going to be... in 14 years, that's crazy. But like, you could tell he was kind of channeling a lot of like his own experiences coming up in the industry, and I really enjoyed that aspect of it.
Right. I agree. Like, even all of the plot points that they put in, like the red herrings and the foreshadowing that Spike does in here, like, it's not, for me, it's not the best I've seen, but I admire the effort though.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
like there's someone with a green headband, a rap song, and how it all fits together. Even the plot twist in this movie that starts fairly early. Like, I thought that was pretty good for me personally.
I agree with that.
But like I said, it's not the most masterful plot twist and everything, but they're still good for what they are. One gripe I do have, I have a couple of them, not just one, but I will say this: as much as Jeffrey Wright is great in this movie, I wish we got to see more of him.
Okay.
I wish we got to see more of these characters and some more of these characters in general, because this movie is very centered on Denzel, which I get it, and I don't blame Spike for doing that. You know what I'm saying? Because every time we've seen a Denzel movie, he's always been kind of the star. Well, not kind of. He always has been the star.
Generally.
Even in Black Klansman, starring his son, John David Washington. There's more. Even though it's about John David's character, or technically it's based off a real person, Ron Stallworth. Even though he's the focus of the movie, he's the one doing all the talking. That movie is very character driven. You know what I'm saying? And I wish this movie was the same way.
You know what's funny? I had the exact same criticism personally because as great as this is, my biggest issue is that we don't get more time with it because the movie is very fast paced.
Right.
The movie takes place over the course of maybe like a day, maybe a two.
Yeah, like I say a week. Probably like a
Yeah,
week.
you know what? Yeah, you're probably around that. But it's so fast paced to the point to where you're so constantly in the action that I think you don't really get a lot of time to sit with these characters and really kind of get to know them as much as I really would have liked to, because David in the movie, he's kind of characterized as being this very ruthless sort of like cutthroat music exec. But then when you really get to like the nitty gritty of who he is as a person, like seeing him, he's really not that bad of a guy, honestly.
Right. That's what you really
I think no, because I mean, like even his son, like in the movie, was like the coldest heart.
Oh yeah. I get that.
Like he's kind of characterized as maybe potentially being kind of an asshole.
Yeah, to a degree, yeah. Because the thing is, with the dilemma that he has, like I get where he was coming from. I get why he either saves his life or preserves his own.
Yeah,
and obviously we know which way is the right way to go.
For sure.
But after he does it, he starts getting the consequences of him doing the right,
no good deed.
No good deed goes unpunished. Right. So I get that, and that's another part of the storytelling that I liked in this movie too. Like I like the conflict that the moral conflict that Denzel's character David goes through in this movie too.
For sure, the movie to me almost feels very not theatrical. It almost feels very not Shakespearean, but there were times in this movie that it kind of felt like it was a play.
Yeah. I
Like
agree.
that line that I just mentioned, that his son, my father, the best years in the business, but the coldest heart. Mm-hmm. And the way that he walks out of the room after that makes it feel very sort of like a stage play. It almost feels kind of, like I said, Shakespearean in a way.
Right.
You could tell that he kind of took some inspiration probably from his own experiences being a stage actor, because Denzel himself has said he considers himself to be more of a stage actor rather than a Hollywood actor. And I could see some isms of that in his portrayal, which isn't a bad thing at all.
Right. Even Aubrey Joseph, who plays Trey, does a great job in this movie
sure.
for the little time that he's given, of course.
Yeah.
And going back to what you were saying about Jeffrey Wright being more in the movie and everything, I wouldn't say that he feels wasted in this movie, but I really do wish that an actor of his caliber, easily one of the best actors of this year, or really in general.
Yeah.
In my opinion, he's in my personal top 10. He might even be in my top 5. I wish they did a little bit more with him, because him and David have, because his name, Jeffrey Wright's name is Paul in this. Paul and David have a really, first of all, the chemistry between them is great.
For sure. It's natural. Very, very natural.
But in the movie, there's a lot of there's backstory between them, because Paul Christopher being David's driver, and they allude that Paul was incarcerated previously, like they're godfathers to each other's sons, type stuff. Like I wish we would have gotten more backstory behind that.
I agree.
And would have seen a little bit more of that, and this would have been both of their movies instead of just it being solely focused on David.
Like almost kind of like dual perspectives, and I think
exactly
has done stuff like that before.
Yeah,
where he's had like multiple perspectives of different characters in his movies, and I agree with that, because that's the one thing that this movie kind of like it leaves off on a satisfying note. It's a very well told story. It's a very conclusively told story. But I do wish that we could have gotten more time to sit with these characters. Most of all, like you said, Paul, and really kind of gotten to dive into more of who they are. Because what's here, the performances, the characters are very interesting. And it would have been nice to kind of get to see more of who they are just internally. Because I think with David, he gets explored the most. But even then, it's very kind of in brief moments. And then once you get back into the action, that's kind of like where you don't really get that chance with him again.
Right. Even with actors, like I mentioned, Wendell Pierce. Wendell Pierce, another one of my favorite actors all the time. And this is not me being biased when I say that. I'm just, stating that. But even with Wendell Pierce, with an actor of his caliber, I wish he had a little bit more time.
I agree.
Like, but if you're gonna, because the thing is, what his character does in this movie is essentially just explain what's going on to David after the situation that David goes through and everything. I get the character being there isn't a bother for me, but I wouldn't get like a big actor like Wendell Pierce just to have like one-off roles. You know what I'm saying? Like that one, personally.
I feel you.
But then again, Wendell Pierce isn't. I wouldn't say he's A-list per se. I'd say he's probably B-list.
Yeah.
B-list, C-list. Like, he's mostly known for TV shows like Power, The Wire, and so on and so forth. So maybe in big productions, like we've seen him in Marvel movies, but he's always been kind of, his roles have always been kind of like 10 minutes at the least.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, or his screen time has always been 10 minutes at the least. So maybe it's not much of a complaint, but it's just, maybe just a nitpick for me.
For sure. But yeah, excuse me. Overall, this movie, I feel like it did mostly what it set out to do. It told a very well written, very concise, very consolidated story. Concise enough. It did enough.
Concise enough, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. It mostly succeeds off of the strength of its actors that are present, the direction, and I think overall the cinematography is what really brought this movie, beyond its surface, like beyond its source material. It kind of elevated script-wise, dialogue-wise, just through the overall setting. Spike really knew how to nail the look and the feel of the city, which of course makes sense. That's where he's from. So overall, this movie succeeds a lot more than it fails.
Yeah, I agree. What would you give it though?
I would say overall, I'd give it probably about an 8.5. That's what I would give it.
I'll give it an 8.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, like I agree with everything you said. Some cohesive enough. The characters, the actors drive this movie forward. The cinematography is phenomenal.
Yeah,
and it's like, but the only reason why I give it an 8 is just because a little bit because of what we mentioned, and also I think the cohesion could have been a tad bit better toward the end because everything seems to stop kind of abruptly.
I can, I can agree with that. That's a fair criticism.
Yeah, that's all. But other than that, yeah, man, solid movie. I really did enjoy this.
For sure. Definitely a good summer, or really a late summer.
Right.
A really good, solid late summer entry to theaters. Soon to come out on streaming. On
September 5th on Apple TV Plus. But that's another thing I kind of hate. We didn't get to see this movie until a week ago.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't in theaters around Charleston for some reason.
Something like that. I don't know why.
And I wonder how that was everywhere. Because this movie really was a solid movie. And if it was in more theaters, I'm pretty sure a bunch of, especially our people, we definitely wouldn't want to go see it. Because it's Spike Lee and Denzel, bro. Like, that's a 1-2 punch right there. Not 1-2 knockout, bro. Easily. Like we mentioned, Mo Better Blues, which I still got to watch. But.
Same.
But we have seen Malcolm X. Right?
Right? Hey, we'll bring the Malcolm X review to you once I've seen it. I've been meaning to watch it for a long ass time.
I've seen Malcolm X. Oh Lord Jesus.
I got some homework.
I've seen He Got Game, which is another one of my favorite movies of all time. You've seen that one, right? Right?
And with that being said,
in that case, I've been Jay, man.
This has been Rodney.
And we're LATD. We got more videos coming. Stay tuned. Like, comment, subscribe, all that. We hope you have a blessed rest of your day or night or whenever you're watching this. God bless you.
Tap back in with us when I've actually seen the other Spike Lee classic movies.
Yeah, we got Throwback Thursdays coming for you soon, man, because Transformers fell bad. But with all that being said, y'all be blessed. Peace.